December 15th, 6010 AD. The rain still tries to wash away the sin and the blood from the dark city streets. When last we left off, Mutt had left on his own to do some recon on Alliance Industries to try and find out any weaknesses or any information he could to help them infiltrate the corporate territory. Saris had found her daughter Tammy, who was leading a group of resistance fighters, a gang called the Vindicators, those who were seeking justice for the oppressed. Krizach, Gharvas, Vega, and Nyx were all at the Temple of the Tau. Well, Vega had gone with Saris to visit the Vindicators from time to time. They had been through so much together, not all of the crew making it this far, but the enemy has finally shown its face, and it was right there all along, using its minions to tear the world apart, using these shadows operatives to shape it into what they wanted to, one bullet at a time. Like most criminal organizations, they were going to hide behind a fake smile and an illusion that they had created to make them look just like the good guys, when really they were just the worst monsters of all, tearing up people's lives and crushing dreams in order to build a world they wanted. All along, the jobs that they had been taken by the crew, all the jobs they had accomplished, how many of those jobs were really just an assassination of someone trying to do the right thing, someone trying to build their own world. Sometimes when you kill a monster, you create two more, but that is just the way it is. The world is filled with killers and with death. It always has been. And there were going to be a lot of dead monsters by the end of this story. So before we continue this story, let us find out what each of the characters have been up to in the past 2 weeks. The camera pans down through the many levels of hover cars, through the holographic advertisements, through the rain and twisted buildings of endless steel and concrete, through the city of Haven to a darker side of the ghetto, down on Grove Circle, where the Temple of the Tau sits nestled between two rundown apartment buildings. The camera passes through the stained glass window that holds an image of Gar, a warrior and a saint to the skog of this temple, an image of hope and an icon for those within to aspire to be as strong as. That is what the Temple of the Tau was all about, the Church of Unity. It was a place for broken things to be mended, for the discarded to rest, and the hunted to hide. The camera pans through the dark cathedral and past the Gothic architecture that resembles an old Skog warship, decorated in the same manner they might have decorated a battle vessel in the times of the Great Wars in the Stars. We pan to the dimly lit antechamber filled with shelves and books and a pale-faced Jakayan sitting alone at the table.
It has been a grueling couple of weeks. Nyx has been studying spells, learning what she can from the books taken from Darkstar's old headquarters. Stolen books filled with vast knowledge. She would put them to good use and had to choose wisely what she wanted to arm herself with in the upcoming war against the corporation. It was slow going until High Priest Kohakmon caught her alone in the antechamber during her studies. Surprised at his offer of help, she found his teaching methods to be stringent but very efficient. He showed her the correct rune patterns to create in the air with her new verendum, what words to use, the correct resonance of sound needed to invoke the mana, and the final posture and sound needed to release the shaped spell. Over the days, she began to anticipate his instructions before he spoke them aloud. She wasn't sure if he realized that their communication had transcended the need for speech. The task was dangerous, and he always stood by with a counterspell at the ready if things were to go wrong. "You have done well, little Nyx. May you kill many that deserve it." It was such an awkward response, and she had heard him say it before, but that was Kohak Mulm. Skogs were bred to be warriors from birth, and even though he tried to hold a balanced aura, she could sense his anger and his inner turmoil. She knew it boiled within him from all the suffering in the city, especially within this locale. He had a good soul. She felt it. He had not killed Mother Yun yet, had said he needed to consult with the spirits before making a final decision. He had mentioned in his cryptic way that she would be needed in the coming battle. Still, Yun was not free to leave the cell below in the sublevel of the church. Her mage locks remained firmly in place. Nyx would visit her from time to time, and eventually Yun offered to teach her a spell to aid in the upcoming confrontation. Nyx felt that some of Yun's coldness had evaporated, leaving a yellow, mellow warmth in its wake. And that was a comfort, knowing Mother Yun had achieved some peace. Nyx's companions came and went from the temple, each on their various errands, and as they ate together, spoke together, planned together, Nyx felt a rightness to her existence that was entirely new. Though they bickered frequently, and the tension of the upcoming conflict had everyone on edge, there was an undercurrent of shared purpose, and even burgeoning trust. Success and survival depended on knowing that the person to the side, to the front, at your back, would do their part. Nyx could sense everyone's growing commitment to the task and to each other, and she wasn't about to let them down.
Nice. Now the camera pans to Saris.
Not long ago, I was, or at least thought of myself as just a chilling machine, a hired gun, a willing servant, and a tool of Alliance Industries. When they would ask me to jump, I would ask how much. They were my means of disconnecting from humanity, of altering my body enough just to let go of these human feelings. That is all I care about. That is all I really wanted out of my life. To sell my soul to the machines. But this last month has been eye-opening for me. Everything that has happened, everything that I have done, everything I have discovered. It has been so hard to grasp the fact that I am some other person, or at least was. My memories have been hidden from me by Alliance Industries and my emotions sequestered away. Now I finally realize who I really was before I became this creature with mechanical and biological parts. The 9 is this body's designation, but inside, I know I am Sarah's Vicarian, mother and wife, 2 kids, a loving husband. I used to have it all, but when I died, I lost all of it. Husband, gone, dead, trying to expose Alliance Industries. My son, unknown. My daughter, Tammy. I finally found her. Finally held her in my arms again. She's made me so proud through the Vindicators. Watching her followers take in every word she says, and watching her command her troops, I can't help but tear up every time. She's done me proud. These last 2 weeks, we've been gathering forces to stop the Alliance Industries, but all I'm finding myself caring about is Tammy. Spending time with her, watching her, talking to her about her life, my life, our life, before everything and what it is now. There is still so much we have to catch up on. 2 weeks just isn't enough. I watched Tammy lead the Vindicators and spark that rebellion to hopefully catch the attention of all of Haven. They're gonna hack Channel 6 News, send reports all over the galactic net, and leak information on the truth about Alliance Industries once and for all. We just needed a little more evidence. Mutt had collected so much, and we would need every shred of proof for what they are doing. My team and I would be inserted into Alliance Industries and do one last mission of corporate espionage that would bring the entire temple to the ground. Amy and I did talk about leaving. Spent a good many nights debating on how do we do it. Fake our deaths and use the confusion to find Ronnie. We could leave this place once and behind, the three of us, getting back together, but knowing what Jay had sacrificed and trying to take down Alliance Industries, both our family and his life, neither Tammy or I could leave the mission behind. Though it was a hazy memory, my deep love and affection for Jay still lingered, and I had to do this memory justice. I could not let him die in vain. He tried to take on Alliance Industries alone. Tammy and I have each other and entire teams of people behind us. This is for you, baby. We will take them down. We will take them all down.
And the camera pans away from Vindicator's lair. To Vega in the garage.
Vega would pace the temple endlessly, going over the thoughts in his head of escape. I'm so fucking done with all this bullshit. Just kept saying to himself over and over and over, I'm so fucking done with this bullshit. But then when he put on his low light shades and lit a cigarette, took that drag, calmed down just a little bit. There's always Aramil's voice keeping him there. Even in death, his friends still needed him. That night had changed everything for Vega. Holding his friend's lifeless body in his hands, trying to pump life back into him as he lay bleeding from the rounds in his chest. It was just too real. And he decided he had to leave. He couldn't do this. The money just wasn't worth the hassle. Not enough to keep him from seeing any more bloodshed. Sarah had kept him around a little longer, though. One more job, she promised. But no, it's never just one more job. Then after being captured by that maniac, the necromancer, he knew just how insane all of this was. It was time to go, and he knew it. He wanted the end of all of this, to leave the city in a rush behind the wheel of his ride, blaring tunes and smoking a cigarette. Just driving. And then he got the text. The text from Aramil, his dead friend, fucking texting him, claiming that his soul was trapped out there in the net somewhere. What the hell? Now he had to stay around. He had to finish this. If there was a chance to save his friend, if there was a chance to save Aramil, he was going to try and do it this time, since it was too late for him last time. So Vega spent some time with Saris, visited the Vindicators, helping them suit up, get their vehicles ready for war. Another fucking war and more bloodshed. One good thing, one of the younger punks there had stolen a few items or jacked them from some corporate Ronin, I don't know. but it was a damn nice grab. 3 propulsion packs, 2 of them lagging pretty hardcore though. The kid had asked Vega if he could help them fix them up. If he can get them all working in top condition, he could have one. So, of course, Vega stayed to help out. He was there for a little while. That might not have been the only reason. He knew it was a Vindicator that had killed Aramil. Some elf girl that was working to protect the doctor they had been hired to capture. The start of all of this. And now he finds himself here working with, helping the Vindicators. It's just fucking crazy. He started to say some shit about it too, but that daughter of Sarah's kind of talked him down. She has a way with words. He didn't want to admit it to Saris, but he was pretty sure Tammy might have a little bit of a crush on him. She didn't admit it or anything, but she just had that look about her when she talked to him. Maybe he would talk to her later. Who knows? He does know one thing, though. He wants the fucking hell out of here as soon as possible.
And then the camera pans back into the heart of the church, where we find Gharvas.
Gharvas had spent his time in training and in prayer. At dusk, when the red sun would vanish from the sky, it would hold the ceremony of shadows. He would offer prayers and pull guard duty often with the other templars of the church. There were only 5 others. The church here had 2 other monks in its midst, but one was a mutant, bred from a human, an elemental they called him, and one was a Kuthalan. Both outcasts like most of the people here, all trying to find a place to hide away, or a place to fit in this world somehow. Gharvas had proven himself, and was well liked by Quahog Moln. His master had promised him a reward for his service in bringing in Mother Yoon. Thus, at tonight's ceremony of shadows, he was to gain his gift. He was relieved, for it meant that he was finally finished with his training in the church, and was now a full-fledged Templar and protector of the path of Gar. He would honor the title. Quahog Moln had told Gharvas that after the ceremony, he was to seek out the one they called Gulplacket. Gulplacket would have some more soldiers for this war, and her strength would make a good ally, even if this was only a temporary arrangement. For Gulplacket was also on the Alliance hit list, and would prove to be a powerful ally in the coming fight. Quahog Moln did show signs of distaste for Gulplacket being a dealer and broker for criminal transactions, but at this current junction, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, so she will have to find purification from Gar's fires another day.
And then the camera pans from the church to follow Krizat.
I skulk and skitter in dark areas of city, moving back forth through the network of shadows from church temple to black market bazaar. Careful, always vigilant. To watch shadows, yes. This is not new to Krizach. This is common. A large monster feels like in shadow, one that is formless but everywhere. Alliance Industries very good at sneak stalking prey. Krizach found through stolen DNA or garbage trash, perhaps. Cannot put nose on it, but something really bothers Krizach. Woman machine thing, new home and market where meat witch thing Roak before. Blue magic, tracer things like Mutt perhaps using his hair fur maybe? Where was Mutt anyhow? Machine thing had not been seen in some time. Went out on own to scout search. Face recognition software and drone things patrolling the streets. Hidden cameras, tracking bugs. Ah! My nerves brittle scratch at the thought of it. But I shadow stalk. None find me. None as good as I at vanishing in the dark night. No. Time to shop. Get plenty hardware to blow things up. Burn them. Kill them. Then return back to church and prepare for war. Machine thing have family like Krizach, and others almost like family, still no fur on most. And family important, worth fighting to protect. And Alliance has many shiny sparkly things for more money, more murder death.
With that, camera pans away from Krizach, out of the Undercity, and across the city, back to the surface, through the rain, to find Mutt.
The engine screams as Mutt is racing towards the temple. Tachometer has been in the red for the past 15 minutes as Mutt is flooring the accelerator. Street lights, headlights, taillights, neon signs are all a blur in his vision. One eye is focused on the road, the other eye seems to be hanging out of the socket by a few wires. His right hand is on the wheel in a death grip. He maneuvers the car through traffic, narrowly missing many a vehicle. There is silence in the cabin, and for once in the past 2 weeks there is silence in the mind. Mutt has spent the past 2 weeks on a solo recon mission. He wanted to stay away from the others. He felt he couldn't entirely trust himself anymore. Or how do you trust someone that you do not know? He wasn't just one person though, he was the shattered remains of many. The echoes of several different spirits combined into one body and filled with drugs until his mind could not even compute the thoughts into any decipherable order sometimes. The medication Alliance had given him had kept the schizoid episodes at bay. It had held him together. But now the drugs were gone. The withdrawals were rough, and the suffering was starting to tear him apart. Not so much physical suffering, but mental afflictions were easily beginning to show their faces. These episodes would soon bring him to an end, finally tear him apart. He knew he was deteriorating. But for now the voices have dissipated, the struggle extinguished. The camera pans and the visual changes to the display of the broken eye. There seems to be a stream of sensory data intermingled by Mutt's system diagnostics. Day since last medication, 22. Time since last episode, 20 minutes. Motor system, 75% efficiency. Vision system, 50%. Audio systems, 50% efficiency. Core routines, 100% efficiency. Social routines, offline. Pain centers, 150% above normal. Mode of operation, experimental. Then in bold letters, the word system failure appeared in the visual broken eye. Memory suppression systems malfunctioning. Random memory access in 3, 2, 1. Smack. Something takes Mutt's head and smashes it against a hard object. The lights are bright. There are 4 voices. The faces seem familiar. The stench is definitely familiar. The smell of sweat and bio-waste seems to permeate the room. Smack. What is the question? He can't remember it. Smack. Correction applied. Memory suppressed. The visual and the broken eye continues. Operation parameters, protect. Target of protection, Ceras. Overrides, none. Safety, off. Rules of engagement, extreme prejudice. System failure. Random memory access in 3, 2, 1. Smack.
Wakey, Mutt. Time to answer a question.
Mutt looks around the room. His arms and legs are secured to a chair. The chair is reinforced to withstand his strength. Smack.
Where are the others, Revenant? Why have you not reported back in? Why have you not come in for an upgrade? Why have you not taken your medication?
Smack. Mutt smells burning flesh and overloaded circuits before he hears himself scream. The questions continue, the screams getting louder and hoarser. His readouts are all screaming within. Every system is overloaded. Smack.
Fool. Did you think you could escape us? Did you think Alliance would not ship all its dogs? We know all your movements. We know every location you have been. We really don't need to do this. But after all, what you did to Mac over there, your little present back at your place, well, this is just for fun. Just fun to break you. Break you we will.
The screams continue. Computer readout, system failure imminent. And then there is silence. Mutt no longer hears the voices. He no longer smells the room or sees his interrogators. His vision is completely replaced with the system readout. Operational parameters no longer apply. Activate experimental mode. Yes, no. The cursor blinks. Somewhere in the deep of his mind, Mutt says yes. Choose new operational parameter. Mutt says protect at all costs. Target of protection. Seras. Overrides. He sets it to none. Safeties. He sets it to off. Rules of engagement. Inwardly he smiles and sets it to extreme prejudice. Finally the system reads experimental mode active. Mutt's vision clears. The pain is gone. His senses are running 100% efficient. He looks down at his arm that is fastened to the chair. He looks up at his interrogators. He fixes his gaze on Mac, the burnt one. He smiles and a laugh. Crunch! Scream! Mutt proceeds to rip his forearm off the chair, leaving a bleeding metal stump that he then proceeds to impale the nearest interrogator. He uses the chair as a makeshift shield to block the next attack on him. He proceeds to use his broken piece of his arm to impale the next one. Turns around, looks around, sees his Beretta on the side of the table, picks it up, squeezes off bullet after bullet into the next two people in the room. He makes his way to a mirror and looks at himself. He nods in agreement. He smashes the mirror and with the broken shards cuts the tracker out of his implant in his arm. Mutt looks at the mirror and starts speaking to himself. You are Mutt. You are a collection of parts. You are a bad dog now. And you will be put down soon. Before that, you must find Seras. She needs your help. You have the recon information necessary to take Alliance down. You must leave now. The others are in danger in the temple. You must leave now. The engine screams as Mutt is racing towards the temple. The tachometer is in the red for the past 15 minutes as Mutt is flooring the accelerator.
As Mutt rides off, camera pans back to the church. The city of Haven was a whirlwind, and it was easy to get caught up within and destroyed by it. It was impossible to avoid the conflict in any way, and it was impossible to at least see what nightly terrors were taking place on media. There was little time left for the crew. The clock was ticking. Soon they would have to plan their assault. Soon they would have to take the fight to Alliance Industries, and now was the time. Plan to attack. The camera pans back to the church, and through the battle-ready image of the Skog warrior known as Gar, the patron saint of this church. The scene falls back into the Great Hall, where the members of the crew are awaiting the beginning of the Ceremony of Shadows. So you guys are all gathered, kind of waiting on Mutt to arrive. You received a message that he was on his way, and it was pretty like brief, you know. But you guys are all gathering together, and the smell of incense. The church has been opened to, you know, people to gather for the ceremony and the mass. And so you guys go ahead and you're free to roleplay.
Saris is standing in the hall. Their new shining armor, new shining boots, new shining helm. She looks to be utterly prepared, a very determined look on her face, though before not many emotions showed on kind of like that blank facade that was before hidden by just a plain security helm covering up any facial features. This time it's opened, pulled back, face forward, eyes forward. Full look of determination, of readiness, slight worry in her brows, but full confidence as she waits with the others, looking over them, trying to assess to see their level of readiness, their level of worriedness.
Nyx has a very tired look to her. Her large eyes are shadowed, as if she hasn't gotten a lot of sleep, which she hasn't. She spent a lot of her nights deep in study, but she also seems rather calm. She turns to the others nearby and says, "Is this ceremony going to involve fire?"
I am not sure myself.
Fire is an important piece of the mythos and justice of Gar. It will, of course, take an important place in the ceremony.
Well, I think we have our answer.
Nyx kind of backs up against the wall a little bit.
Saris will go over beside Nyx, putting a hand on her shoulder, looking over at her in a slightly caring way. Are you all right, Nyx?
I am fine. If Gharvas is not worried, then I should not worry. Although he sometimes does not worry about fire in a way that I find disturbing.
Because fire is fun! Yes, yes!
Nyx can't help but smile at his obvious pleasure at the thought of things burning, but it is fun unless you are the one on fire.
I don't
You have
know.
Nothing. Sorry.
Man, oh, you're right. I don't know. Man things seem like being on fire a lot, and points over at Vega.
Vega is at a small table, like over in a corner somewhere, away from the group. You can see his back's facing you, and he just kind of obviously stops what he's doing. He's working on some piece of equipment on a table. He stops and just kind of turns his head slightly to the right, and you can see the cigarette smoke just kind of wafting up in the air around him. He turns back to the table. And as he turns back to the table, working on this gear on the table. Well, we won't be having that happen again now, will we, Ratman?
It depends on where you walk.
Enough, you two. Saris will look over to Vega, look over to Krizach. We do not need to be infighting at this point. We are reaching the pinnacle of everything we've planned for, of everything we've hoped for. There'll be no burning. There'll be no grenades fired at other people. Are we understood, Krizach?
You don't want me to throw grenades at Alliance?
At Vega.
Oh. Krizach, try do that.
Try hard.
Vega turns around from the table and he pulls up the equipment that he was working on the table, and you see him kind of start strapping it to his back, just kind of getting a feel for it. He hunches his shoulders up and gets the straps and everything all right. The smell of his cigarette smoke mixing with the incense. He looks over at Krizach. He pulls his pistol out, pulls the chamber back, looks inside, lets the chamber go, and puts the gun back in his inner coat pocket there. It won't happen again this time, Krizach. It will not happen again this time.
Yes. Certainly hope not.
Looks a bit kind of smiley at that.
You guys notice a couple of the Templars move out of the shadows and kind of take up points at the edges of the church. The walls are all dark, it's this church is made to look kind of decorated to look like the inside of the battleship, one of the Skog warships. And you notice a monk, Brother Dax, comes from the doorway, opens up the doors to let an old friend in. You guys see Mutt, maybe a little bit out of breath. He appears from the double doors in the entrance, and the brother just nods to him as he comes in.
As Mutt enters the room, before you actually see his face, you guys would get a smell of burnt flesh and burnt insulation. When he steps through the doors, you can see that his left arm below the elbow is not present. There are wires, bone, muscle and sinew hanging along with some sort of fluid dripping in small pools. His left eye is popped out, dangling, but you can see that it's still scanning the room. He looks around. You can see that the last time you saw him, he was in many ways distracted, but that has gone. That does not exist. He seems to be having a singular purpose in his movements. He makes his way to Saras. When he speaks, everybody notices the voice has changed as well again. Saras, quickly,
Mutt.
show me your arm.
Alright. And Saris presents her arm to Mutt, looking a bit hesitant, looking him over, but not really doubting and trusting him.
We have been tracked, Saras. They know where we are. We all have trackers in us, you and me. And with that, he jabs what looks like no different from a shard of mirror into your right forearm. He starts digging, and Eventually, he pulls out a 1 centimeter dermal that seemed to have been stuck maybe a few centimeters below your skin.
Yep, the second he stabbed something into Sarah's arm, Vega immediately would have yelled out and jumped backwards. He pulls his pistol out and he's holding it up and pointed at Mutt. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I was captured by Alliance. It did not strike me that I am their creation, so I would be tracked. They insert tracking chips into all Alliance
It's
equipment.
Vega just holds the gun on him and looks to Saris.
Yes, you, driver. I do not recall your name, but keep that thing tracked on me. He looks into Saras's eyes. I remember you.
Saris doesn't flinch much at Mutt and stabbing her with the piece of mirror. It's not painful exactly, but pulling out the tracker, eyes going wide after all he says, them being tracked every movement. And she brings up her free hand to her mouth, kind of looking around to the exits. Shit, they know where the Vindicators are. They know where Temmie is. We need to go.
Yes, they know everything. Reach out to your progeny, Saras.
Saris will quickly hop on her comlink, quickly dialing Temmie. She kind of walks away from the group, holding the comlink to her ear, waiting, pacing.
In the meantime, Mutt makes his way to the rat thing. Rat thing, I cannot remember your name. You must protect exits now. We are compromised.
Yes. Sorry about Temple in advance.
Runs over and starts pulling out some plastic explosives.
The Templars are definitely alerted by this. They retract their shields, pull out weapons, and they say, "We will guard the front door," and then they start moving off towards that. Brother Dax turns around and he seems a little more distraught than the Templars, who are all straight-faced. Brother Dax says, "I will tell Koakmon," and then he moves off. And the phone rings, and Saris, you connect with Tammy. She's like, "Mother."
I was worried. Temmie, you need to get you and the Vindicators out of there. I'm so sorry. Alliance was apparently tracking me. There was an implant in my arm. They know where you are. You need to get out of there.
All right, we will move location. I'll tell everybody immediately.
Stay safe. I don't know how close they are, if they're coming for you. Please, Temmie.
I'll contact you and let you know we're safe.
Good. Thank you. Saris will hang up the comlink, walk back over the group. She's looking very shaken right now, eyes wide. She's really never looked so scared, and she looks over to Mutt. How did you escape, Mutt?
Mutt.
What?
You notice
Machine thing
Quahog.
broken.
You notice Quahog moan come out.
There
Trouble
is
then.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead if you come in.
Yeah. So you notice that Mutt acknowledges both of your questions with his eyes. Well, 1.5 eyes, and you can see his facial muscles twitch to say something. There seems to be a delay, and then eventually he speaks. I exterminated those who captured me. Yes, they no longer breathe. It seems I was built with some experimental software. My sensors were overloaded during questioning. In turn, activation of software led me to escape. No one follows me, but they know of the locations I have been, and so have you, Saras. But there is some good news. I was able to get floor plans, access codes for the Alliance system. We can take the fight to them.
Good. Good.
I do not have much time.
I'm glad you made it here. Oh God.
Vega looks kind of shocked and wide-eyed. He has his pistol in one hand, and he has both hands behind his head as he's walking around and pacing, just kind of in exasperation. It's like, oh, well, how do we know he's not one of them? How do we know he's not working for them now? I mean, how do we know he's not? He could turn on us at any moment.
By that logic, man thing, so could she. She has not killed all of us yet.
This is insane. This is insane. He was built by them, and we're just letting him in here. This doesn't make any sense at all.
Vega, so was I. In a way. I can trust Mutt and what he's saying. And what he's saying.
You can trust Mutt. That doesn't mean I can trust Mutt, or if I can't even trust you. And he kind of spins around and is pacing off when he says that.
Vega, I can tell you that Mutt thinks that he says the truth.
Mutt thinks he says the truth. Do you even hear yourself right now? He thinks he's telling the truth. We have no way of knowing. This is absolute insanity. We are locked in this little temple with two machines that could just turn on us and kill us.
Wait. Everyone trying to convince Man Thing. Wrong way. Man Thing, no force. No power. I show you. Here, Man Thing, you want trust? You want to be able to rely on Machine Thing? You have power over them.
And Krizesh will root around in his pockets and pull out kind of a blue little grenade.
You see this, Man Thing? You know what this is?
Vega looks at him and looks back down at what he's holding. He's like, I've got no fucking clue. What is that? What is that? Just another one of your toys?
No. Very important. Got it because I didn't know if I could trust machine things either. Tech bomb. Not do much to you or me, but to things with lots of sprockets and wires and things. Short them out. You want one?
And Vega's eyes get wide and he raises an eyebrow. You've got a bomb that will turn them off.
I don't think we'll need it for them. But since you're so worried, I have spare. You want spare?
Vega looks over at Saris and looks over at Mutt. And he just shakes his head and walks over to Krizach. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it, Krizach. I'll hold on to it. And if they do one thing that looks in any way unusual or out of the ordinary or dangerous to us, I'm letting this thing go. I'm popping it off.
Yeah, I'll reach out to hand it to him, but before he takes it, I'll grip onto it for a minute.
And if Man-Thing do anything too stupid, misinterpret Machine-Thing actions because Man-Thing's scared, little man, then Krizat set you on fire again, but not by accident.
And we'll let go of the tech bomb.
And Vega will take a drag out of his cigarette that's just kind of hanging out of his lips. Deal, rat thing.
Good. Now we all friends again. Now, what plan?
Should we stay here, or should we take the fight to them while their forces might be scattered looking for us?
We need to take the fight to them. They know we're here. At least they know at least I'm here. Maybe if we leave the implants, I don't know. But we need to get it, I don't know, out of here. And we need to take the fight to them. We need to end this. I can't have anything happening to Tammy and Vega. If you have to use that thing on me, if Mutt somehow, and I turn on all of you, you need to promise me you'll take care of Tammy, okay? Please. I can't have anything happen to her.
Looks at Saris and he pushes his low light shades up onto his forehead and he looks her in the eyes. Oh, don't you worry, Sheila. I'll use this on you if I have to. And then after I'm done using this on you, I'll definitely take care of your daughter. He puts his shades back down and goes back to looking at his pistol.
Good. Thank you. We need to leave immediately. We cannot stay here any longer.
Yes, let's go kill!
Kohakmon, will you stay here with your temple, or will you follow us?
Yeah, you can see Kolok is kind of looking around for a minute, waiting for you guys to finish talking, and he looks over and he notices some of the people kind of watching as well from the shadows and that were gathering for the mass and everything. And he says, "Do not brandish your weapons in the church, and please do not blow up the entrance." And he looks over towards the Ratkin, and he's like, "We are safe here for now." He's like, "Your friend needs healing." And he points over towards Mutt, and he says, "My guards, the Templars, will guard the entrance." He's like, "And the monks." And he nods over to Brother Dax, who like immediately runs off and bows to him, you know. He says, "Please, catch your breath. Heal your friend. The ceremony is about to begin." And he says, "We will pause for the sun to go down." And then he turns around and he calls for the others to go to their stations. Like, kind of snaps his fingers points them. Templars all bow to him and go to their stations to guard the entranceway.
Sarisol.
At the same time, I imagine Gharvas is used to guard duty in this temple as well, and under Kohak Mon's orders, he's gonna go to his designated space as well. God has blessed us with fire this day. None shall destroy this place. None shall enter it without his blessing.
Kohagmon turns before he exits the chamber, and he says, "Yes, Gharvas." He's like, "Perhaps this day will be filled with battle." And he smiles. He says, "Let them come. This temple is the safest place for you."
Let them meet justice. Let them be purified. Let them die.
And Saris will walk over to Mutt, assessing his injuries. Come, Mutt, we should at least get that looked at.
Saras, do you want me to try to heal your friend? She seems a little intimidated to speak to Mutt directly.
Please. And Saris takes a deep breath, trying to collect herself back to her usual self. Yes, that would be much appreciated, Nyx. Thank you. Mutt, if you would come with us.
And you can see Mutt he has his head bowed down, and as you guys come closer to him, you can kind of hear him whispering to himself, "I am Mutt. I am Mutt. Remember, I am Mutt." And then when he senses Saras is close by, he looks up. What do you want me to do? We don't have much time.
We don't, but I believe Nyx has ways of healing you quickly, so we are able to get back on the battlefield.
He kind of cocks his head and turns it to Nyx in a very odd angle, trying to get both of his eyes focused on her. "I am Mutt. Thank you." And then he kind of loses his train of thought as to why he's trying to say thank you. "But, Saras, the problem is not this." And he kind of points to the stump. "The problem is here." And he starts tapping his temples.
I don't know how to help you, Mutt. I want to. I just...
No, stop. You have one goal now. Protect your progeny. And you can see that there's like his facial muscles twitch again. There's a different voice. "Saras, it's not often that you find what you lose in Haven. We are cursed here. That which we lose is lost forever. You have found something precious. Hold on to it. The rest doesn't matter."
Oh, Mutt. It does. If it was just about her, I'd be gone by now. But it's not. Many things at stake. Many things that you need to be in as tip-top shape for as you can be. Understood.
Then the twitch again. "Affirmative." And then you can see that he is trying, like all his body muscles are trying to like show that he socially wants to follow Nyx, but he doesn't know, like there's clearly a disconnect, like something is not sending the appropriate commands to his appendages, so he's just standing there like twitching, not knowing what to do next.
Nyx really hesitantly reaches out and just places a hand on his shoulder and another one on his forearm and closes her eyes, and you can feel a soothing warmth, and some of the organic parts of your body start to come together and mend. And at the same time, you feel a soothing mental energy also washing over you. Not so much words as just peaceful emotions.
And as the energy starts coming in waves over Mutt, you can see that his muscles relax. The twitching has stopped. The mumbling, the repeated affirmation of who he is has calmed down, and he just stands there, almost catatonic with the positive energy.
And Nyx whispers, "You are Mutt." And you almost feel that resonate in your mind as
And you can see Mutt slowly nod his head.
Saras. This is all I can do for now. I cannot repair the biological, only the organic parts, but I think he will hold together for now. And she gives him a soothing pat on the shoulder and a little smile.
He is going to have to. I understand Kohakmon wants to do his ceremony, but I feel we need to leave as soon as possible. The longer we stay, the more danger we are in. Mutt having left interrogation come straight here, it's obvious. They will be finding their way here as soon as they can. They will be mobilizing by now. I feel like it is foolish for Kohakmon to want to do his ceremony.
I am in agreement, but I am very familiar with the needs of these religious types to have their ceremonies. It gives them a kind of strength. I will follow you when you decide to leave.
And Saris looks over at everyone else, and even looking over at Gharvas as he stands there. Well, what do the rest of you think?
Vega is still over in the corner, kind of just tinkering around with gear, and the pack that he had on his back, he slung back off and slapped back down on a table, and is kind of just messing with it, making little adjustments here and there. And he pulls a cigarette out of his mouth, and in between his index and middle finger, he's kind of shaking his hand. Yeah, well, I think we need to get out of here as soon as we can. I don't think it's a safe place. I know those guys. They think it's a safe place, but I don't think it's a safe place. I mean, if they know right where we're at, they're going to come here with everything they've got. We've got to get out of here. I mean, we don't even know if there's a missile coming right down on top of this building and it'll level the whole thing right now as we're standing in here. We've got to get out. And he puts the cigarette back in his mouth and just turns back around and starts fiddling again.
You guys notice the gongs, and everyone starts to come out of the shadows of the Great Hall there.
And Saris will kind of back away towards the back wall, staying out of it all.
Yeah, Vega scoops his stuff up and kind of gets out of the way and moves towards the back. He straps on the gear onto his back and just tries to get out of everyone's way and just basically be unseen in the back.
And you guys are free here to place your miniatures where you think you'd best be. The antechamber was over here, which is a good place for a table to be if you want to lay Mutt on the table or whatever. The main hall is here, and you guys have been staying at this church for a while now, so I left it open for you guys to see the entire kind of layout of this place. The main ceremonial hall is in here, of course, with a big statue of Gar. The entrance is over here. That's the very front entrance way. If you go off to the right over here where the stairs are, they go down to where bodies are burned in the crematorium, and there's also 2 cells, one with Mother Yun in them. If you can see that, you guys gotta probably scroll all the way out to see this whole place, whole compound. The pillars are all lit with flames for the ceremony of shadows, and there is a altar in front of the huge statue of Gar, where there is kind of a brazier of the flames sitting upon the altar. You notice all the people, all of the regular people have gathered here, so you're free to place your miniatures like wherever, your tokens wherever you want to. And
Mutt would be lying on that table there.
Sarah's would be at least with him.
and these stairs up to the kind of northwestern area, those stairs go down to the quarters where you guys, some of you have been spending the nights, and you have your own little rooms and stuff. And there's a map of that place if we need it. It's not really necessary right now, but if you do end up needing to go down those stairs, it's available to you. So the gongs happen again, and you notice the ceremony is beginning. The smell of incense burning. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying Vega's going to be in here since he was just talking to Saris and, saying we should get out of here. I assume he's still in her vicinity, so Vega's going to stay in this room.
Saris will walk over to Mutt, kind of offering him a hand to get out of to get up off of the table. Come, maybe we can get some sort of inspiration off of this since it's already started.
You can see Mutt nods. There's a look of confusion on his face. Okay.
And Vega, can you make a mechanics roll as well to see how you did on those propulsion packs?
Yeah.
If you rolled really well, it'll fly real. Yeah. As well, I wanted to say since Mutt is pretty messed up, he'll be suffering -2 to attack and defend. If that's cool with you, the status of him should be at this second. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There's Vega's mechanics roll.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, so it's working nice. You got it working, running really well.
Where do you want me to put the -2?
You don't have to worry about it. If combat starts, you can just put it in the modifier when it pops up.
Okay, perfect.
Because I don't think it really works on the character sheet thing anyway.
Okay.
The smell of the incense burning fills the dark cathedral. The scent of sage, or sage-like substance. There's many gathered in the great hall, ceremonial chamber, as it is called. Quahog Moln stands at the altar with a templar at each side, standing on top of a raised platform. These templars are quite still and heavily armored, each carrying a shield on their forearm, the kind that actually retracts into a bigger shield in the moment of battle. They stand completely still before the great statue of Gar in the background, the giant Skog who wields 2 Ajmok blades, a single-edged sword, great for stabbing and cutting. It's an archaic weapon, but one of Skog design and ceremonial battle. Cohawk Mullen is also fully adorned in his ceremonial robes, which are of course also armored and covered in ancient Skog runes. His helmet is much like in the image of a giant winged helm that's kind of like meant to simulate the Skog warship's wings. The entire Skog history and lore revolve around them as being great pilots. There is a gathering before you in the chamber where it is filled with outsiders. There are robed men and even a few women here and there. Not all of them are Skog. In fact, most of them who have come to pray here or attend the ceremony are not Skog at all. Some are mutants, some are reptilians, Cthulhan. There are several humans and goblins, even other ratkin. It's a gathering of the unwanted, and you all have a feeling that this mass has opened its doors to those who might be homeless and cast outs. Anything specific you want to do while everybody's setting up, and anybody doing anything special?
Vega's just kind of taking it all in. He's just looking around, watching everyone, looking at the ceremony, not really interested in the ceremony, just kind of watching it because it's in front of him, but mumbling under his breath the whole time. We should be getting out of here. Saris, we should be getting out of here.
Saris will look over to Vega and nod, again looking around for Krizach and Nyx, noticing they kind of scurried off. She'll look back down at her phone nervously. I know we should leave soon. As soon as possible.
Cohawk Mullen turns and says something quietly to the monk, Cthulhan. You've all seen him before. It's by the name of Kithim. He lives here and sleeps below. Some of you have maybe interacted with a few of these monks and templars. Pretty much 2 monks and 6 templars that you've seen, including Gharvas. The monk humbly bows and moves quickly for the front doors of the temple, and Cohawk motions to the other monk and the bald human mutant, who seems almost normal until you notice the gills and webbed digits. He's also covered in tattoos. They call him the Elemental. One of you have maybe seen him practicing his arts and controlling water at a time, practicing in the Great Hall. The monk nods and he takes a mallet and he hits the gong again. Cohawk Mullen turns to regard you all with outstretched hands. My friends, we have gathered here under the watchful eye of Gar to give thanks for the humility that life has shown us. The torment that we have all endured has carved our souls into what we now are made of, and we are stronger for it, I assure you. Sometimes I know you must feel that you cannot take any more, that you must run. And he kind of like pauses for that, stares at some of you. This place, this temple, our sanctuary, is built in the likeness of the battleship that I came to Earth within, the Takmahar. These walls represent strength. The tapestries are blood, and these halls the veins. The Tao is about improving oneself and about the paths in which we take in life. Yet those in the path of light may draw their strength by the light of the stars. Those who walk in the path of darkness may gain strength from their emptiness. But we of the shadow gain strength in our unity. Kill those who deserve it. Steal that food if you need it, but also remember to save a life that needs saving and give a gift that needs to be given. Gar gives me strength. Cohawk Mullen throws a finger to the big statue. He fought in the Paragon Wars, and with honor in the stars, he died in battle. To cast your single-man fighter ship into the bridge of an Orc-Gnaw battleship and shatter its hull. He killed many that day that deserved it. For he put an end to those who take and give nothing in return. There is an enemy out there. And he points towards the doors. They do the same. His eyes fall to the floor for a minute as his hand outstretched, aiming towards the door outside, and he lingers on this thought for a moment, before finishing. And they deserve it. They deserve to fall for what they have done. We will make sure of that. But for now, it is time for giving. You are all welcome to feast here tonight, my friends, and all of you may leave with a full belly and a full heart. But first, I must commend one of my fine disciples for his service in this time of suffering. Gharvas, please. He motions for you to approach.
At that time, I do a final listen and look down this hallway. But when I feel confident that it is safe and that there is nothing, Gharvas turns and begins to move slowly but with purpose through the crowd of people, towering above them, I'm sure, as they're sitting, and with his large stature being a bit intimidating, but his eyes are solely focused on the altar and on Kolhak Moln as he approaches.
Please accept these gifts. Over. Notice another templar. His alias and his helmet is pretty ridiculous, but you can see his eyes smiling at you through it, and he places a hand on your shoulder, as he always thought of you as a sibling, and Helm whispers, "Good job, little brother." He offers you two. He offers you two items, and one is the Templar shield, which is a strong shield, retractable from a gauntlet-worn buckler to a larger shield, and kind of unfurls out at your activation. And then the other is the shotgun, the holy shotgun. Oh, please bow your heads in prayer, and we say until the gong fades, Makar Huktao. He starts some kind of skog chant. He says, concentrate upon the fire. Let the resonating chant flow through you. Makar Huktao. And then the gong starts again. Everybody starts chanting and looking at the fire. And that starts to go on for a short amount of time. But everybody who is there, you all do get +2 spiritual influence points for just kind of being at the temple during this mass. Especially since you haven't gained any in a long time. But everybody can add those to your spiritual influence points on your character sheet. And then he says, now rise. All of you feel free to eat and stay here if you wish in the safety of this temple. And then you can see like all of the minions and all of the basically homeless people start to get up and get some of the food that's been set on the altars and stuff like that. And you also notice a phone call at about that same time. It connects to through your comm links, and it's from Aramil.
Saris will pick up immediately.
Yeah, Vega immediately connects to it as well.
And I'm going to go ahead and play this recording from Aramil.
Mutt, Saras, Vega. If you can hear me, I'm fading away. I thought I had more time, but it seems the more actions I take, the more I do, the more doors I open, the more it drains me, the more it drains my soul. I found a little girl yesterday. Or maybe she found me.
I'm not hearing
She was
anything.
waiting for her father to fix her. said she knew the way to the bridge and asked me to follow her.
Can you not hear it?
I could not.
I
No.
can hear it. I did turn my volume up, though.
I suppose
Let me
the
try to
best
restart
chance
it if I
make it up
can.
here.
Can you just push the volume for that all the way up? Easier.
Yeah.
She says it is the way. The passcodes you need change very often. But I know of a way to trap the codes at a specific time and then bounce it to another location. It is risky, but I will have it for you. Ready for you in 2 days. December 17th, at exactly 10 p.m. There are 3 passcodes that will open 3 doors. One of them is to an MTU access point, where our team can teleport into the facility from any other MTU. Be it the closest possible location I could find into the core of the cloning facility. A well-placed explosive on the control given tank will level the entire facility. It will be heavily patrolled. Second door is available if you choose to sneak into Alliance Industries without using teleportation. It will be risky. There are chances to be killed. Even more chances than before ever reaching the facility. But if you choose to do so, I will have the passcode that will open the maintenance door of the cloning facility. The last passcode that I will capture is the backdoor code into their network. It will allow any techers the chance to hack their way into the CPU, disrupt security, and steal any information they want. I have found the correct files to help you, and I will flag them for any techers who is looking for the code word salvation. I have done all that I can for now. I will contact you.
You were probably able to hear it. Stop.
Yes.
But you also receive the message from a text, and it seems as if he doesn't know if you're receiving the messages that he's sending because they're from cyberspace, from the other side. But the gist of it is that he has procured the passwords for you that'll open doors within 2 days. But it's at a specific time that these passcodes will be captured and sent to you. And you also have plans of the building, which I'll show you now. And this information is what you will have on you, Mutt, in your files here. If you guys can see this.
Mm-hmm.
The picture of the building, which I imagine Mutt took while he was doing his recon mission, pretty much looks like, this, the towering building, and it's right on the edge. You had to get right on the edge of Alliance kind of their territory, which is only they only own a couple of blocks. But still, sneaking onto the corporate grounds would be pretty dangerous, But what the message said from Aramil is that in 2 days he can get a passcode that will allow you to jump through an MTU access point, which is a matter teleportation unit. And you'll be able to jump into the building next to it and cross over, if you can see that bleep up there. Kind of crossover up there, Or a good access point would be over here, and if you guys could rappel kind of over to the building from this place, the security in this building over here is a lot lesser than the actual Alliance Tower.
Oh yeah, Nyx is really good at that.
Yeah, you had fun with that one last
Mhm.
time. But you do have the blueprints layout of the building, which is this here. So to follow that, if you decide to take an MTU access point, it would be at the 42nd floor, which would bring you here across this. It's a little bit less dangerous probably than sneaking onto the corporate grounds and then climbing up this building to the 24th floor and rappelling over. Your target is at the 28th floor at the cloning facility. That's where you would have to place an explosive.
Piece of cake.
Sounds good. Would Mutt have found out how you get from the 42nd floor of the MTU down to the 28th floor? Would he have found access to the elevators?
You would, the passcode would get you just through that MTU.
Okay.
So no, yeah, unless there were a group of hackers that would be able to do that.
Well,
Which the Vindicators are your best bet for that.
it is.
Well, first off, Vega is just standing there, mouth open and eyes kind of wide open, looking at his comms, and he can't believe Aramil just came through again. He looks over at Saris and Mutt. Did you two hear that? That wasn't just me, was it? You both heard it, right?
Cyrus nods a bit solemnly. Yes, I heard. Yeah, he's done very good work.
He's trying to help us.
Yes. Even after everything, he's still trying to help us.
This never should have happened to him in the first place.
No. It shouldn't have. I still blame myself.
And Vega just kind of turns and he's looking away. We've got to do what we can to free him, so that he's not trapped in whatever hell he's in right now.
I agree. The sooner we can get them out, the better. Whether it is transporting him into some other body or just freeing him in general. Depending. But this mission is going to be very complicated. There are many ways. I think the best way is to go up to the 42nd floor. We'll get the Vindicators to hack into the elevators. And we can go down to the 28th floor. I do not think climbing is advised.
Whatever you decide to do, I'll be there. This is the one last thing I can do for Aramil.
Shit! What the fuck was that? Oh shit. I think they're here.
Vega startles and he immediately reaches in, grabs his gun. Looking around.
Yeah, you guys hear the explosion. The whole building pretty much shakes, and You can hear people screaming, and then you hear the sounds of gunfire.
Nyx runs over to Quahog Mole and says, Mother Yoon is still downstairs. I think if you let her out, she would aid us.
Kohakmon nods and starts yelling to the others to rush to the front, and you can see them all reaching for weapons, and there's pretty much most of the homeless people there that have gathered are starting to kind of clear away. But you can hear the battle definitely seems like it's coming from this direction, coming towards the front of the entranceway. So everybody can pretty much go ahead and roll initiative.
At that point, Saris will pull out her shotgun, looking over to Mutt, looking over to Vega, nodding, a hardened look on her face. Well, looks like they've come for us.
I fucking told you they would. I fucking knew we should have gotten out of here. And he puts his sunglasses down onto his, onto his face, off of his forehead. I fucking told you. But he walks out into the front here and just starts looking around.
And Saris will quickly kind of walk over to Vega, grabbing him kind of by the back of the shirt, pulling him back slightly. No, you don't go in front. You know what happened last time.
God damn it, woman. Very well. Get out there.
Cover me. Mutt.
I am with you, Saris.
Always. And she'll look over to the homeless and the civilians rushing around, looking over for Nyx, Gharvas, Krizach. Men! Women! We need to go. Engage the enemy. Drive them back.
They shall burn today.
Saris is... are you giving everybody military tactics for 2 actions?
Yeah.
Nice. So for 1 round, everybody is going to get a +2 to attack and defend due to Saris's awesome military tactics. Did you want to move anywhere else?
Oh
or are you
gosh.
cool right there?
No, she's going to... She's going to set up here, trying to keep eyes, see if anybody comes kind of around this corner. She'll signal for the others to kind of wait behind, not go forward. Do not engage if you don't have to. Keep this choke point.
Nyx will move forward so that she can see what's going on.
Alright. And Krizach's turn.
Yeah, if the explosion, Krizach would have jumped. Ah, shit! And then jumped under a nearby column. Want to attack! Goes through, and after hearing Saris's speech. He's just rummaging through his vest, going for frag grenades.
Yes, we kill. Yes, yes. Do not stand in front. Feel bad for you if you do. Yes, yes.
And we'll scurry to get going forward towards the explosion. So let's see. Mine is... God, how fast am I again? It's been a while.
I think you are
6.
Oh, what am I doing grabbing you? 6. Yeah. So you can run 12.
So if I was here... Oh, not there. If I was here. 1, 2, 3, 4... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And of course, just pushing past anybody that's in my way. Move! Get out! Ah! And then push past and going between people's legs and just diving over to one of the columns.
Nice, Gharvas. What do you want to do? You're up there over at the wall right there?
Yeah, so once the explosion happened, and everybody started panicking, and Sarah started speaking to the crowd, Gharvas immediately kind of followed her lead and moved down here to back her up on the other side of the entranceway. Currently having his holy shotgun out, listening closely and waiting for the footsteps to approach around the corner.
Okay. And Vega? What would you like to do?
Vega's seen this movie before. He knows it doesn't end well for him if he goes out front, so he gets behind this column right here.
Cool. And what weapons do you have in your hand?
He has his new pew pew.
Tech blaster.
His tech blaster.
Nice. All right, Nyx, what are you gonna do?
She'll move forward, so she'll try to get as clear a line of sight as she can out into the hallway without getting directly in the front. Can she move that far? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you have 4 movement. You can actually run 8 spaces if you run.
Okay.
And then it is Mutt.
Mutt would have heeded Sarah's advice, but he wants to keep her in his sights. He moves in like a covering position behind her, his back towards that pillar. He readies his 9mm Giza and trains it on the passageway down south.
Here come the bad guys. The first agent comes through and you can see she's going to fire a few rounds in there. Sarah, so are you peeking around the corner or are you going to be full cover there?
She's like glancing around the corner, but so she can probably get hit at least in the shoulder. Like some partial.
Right, I'm going to give you a +8 for cover. So you'll actually have +10 to defend. Here's one burst. She's going to aim and fire. Cybernetic, one of the cybernetic agents comes around the corner. And she gets a 12. But it rips across the wall there. No problem. You notice more of them are moving up, but no more attacks take place. Looks like they're all just kind of moving, trying to get into position here. So now it is going to be Sarah's again.
They're a little bit out of her range by a bit. How much of a negative do I take? Sorry if they're out of range, because it's 30 feet for this shotgun.
Long range. You'll get -2.
That's fine. She'll peek around the corner again. I don't really want to go full out. But she'll use that eye on this one here. So
Nice.
Just -2 straight.
Yeah, but with your tactics... oh, you can read your tactics if you want this.
So she'll kind of point to these ones here. Shoot if they're in your line of sight. Otherwise, wait until they approach. In case you see one with grenades, take it out first, firing at the grenades. Kozach, you know what to do. She'll aim down.
And you have 3 actions, shooting actions, so you can actually use 1 for tactics and then do a dead eye if you want to do that.
Let's do that. So I'm just at a 0, I think. Yeah.
So actually, tactics for 1 will give everybody +1 to attack and defend this round.
Oh, so just -1, right, for distance?
Yeah.
Oh. Is she...
Alright. First shot misses. Do you want to try it again?
Yeah, she'll burn that
With 2 frenzy?
Yeah.
2 frenzy deadeye?
Heck yeah. So she'll take her first shot, fire, goes wide, kind of hitting one of the other walls here. She'll scoff. Ugh. She'll take her shotgun up into her hands, aim again. Let's see if she can hit.
Alright. 2 shots miss. Alright, Krizach, what you gonna do?
Oh boy, that's a good question. There are no vents in this place, are there?
There's the... yeah, there are some vents on the ground, you notice. Like, there's some vents over there.
Oh man. Would I have any knowledge of these vents being connected, seeing as I've been sneaking out of the temple?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check and see. I'll say target number 6. Yeah, air conditioning vents. Small creatures could probably crawl through. You could actually probably fit through them and take you down to a lower level or out of the building if you really wanted to. It's a tight fit. That's what she said.
Siras, keep them in hallway. I have idea.
You got it, Kozach. Let's do it quick.
I'm gonna try to run to that vent, and what I want to do is something like crawl from the vent to that vent, and if I can do that, then I have an idea.
Okay, cool. So, let's say one down in there. Do.
Oh, so you're cutting out a bit.
Oh, sorry. One action to pop it open with a blade or something, and then down in there as long as you got the movement.
Yeah.
Cool. And then Gharvas.
Okay, so I saw my speed is 4, like 8. Is it 8 for like the cost of an action, or what's that about?
No, you can move. 4 would be like moving normally, and the 8 would be running. You do take negative modifiers if you run and fire, unless you have running shot talents. But yeah, you can move a maximum of 8 hexes. That's what that means.
Okay. What sort of penalties would I take? for running and firing.
-2, which would pretty much
Balances out
mean
with
negative.
Ceres' thing.
Yeah, well, actually -1 because she's only given.
Okay. So my idea was to come out here and throw an incendiary grenade, which my range is half my strength, and my strength is 21. So I guess it would be like 10 or 11 hexes.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to throw it like out here.
Okay. Cool. So go ahead and move there.
Okay. And I am gonna like run back, so it's probably gonna be considered running and firing.
You wanted to throw it right here?
Yep.
Get those 3?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. And
You
then
said
go ahead.
modifier is -1?
-1, yeah. And then go ahead and roll attack with grenade, or attack grenade.
Oof.
Oh. So in actuality, it doesn't make it that far. 1, 2, 3. It actually blows up 4 inches away on the ground right there.
Okay.
And then you're moving back again?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, and then who is after that? Vega.
Vega, he's checking all the straps on his pack and everything. He's flipping switches. He's getting it all kind of spun up, and he's just kind of in a holding pattern right now.
Propulsion pack.
Yep, he's got his back against this pillar. He's turning the propulsion pack on, getting it all ready. He's checking his weapons, and he's just kind of like taking deep breaths.
Getting ready.
And he passes.
Alright, Nix, what are you doing?
Alright, Nyx has started her chanting, and the motion she makes with her right hand, that sort of gets the static electricity going as she moves over by Ceres, and she lines up 3 of the baddies. The Agent 8 SMG, Agent 5 Shoddy, and Agent 6 Shoddy. She thinks maybe she can get 3 of those in one line of lightning bolt. What do you think?
Oh, nice. Let's see. Agent 8 and 6.
Yeah, if Agent 5 isn't directly enough in there, that would probably be it. And I will... Let's see, that's the...
It pretty much works like a line like this. So if you can... Agent 8... Or... Looks like I'm only seeing 1. Maybe 2 right there. Yeah,
5
yeah.
and 6?
Yeah, let's do that. 5 and 6. We'll have to dodge this.
Okay. And I'll do the cast. I don't know if the damage has been updated with her level or not.
Yeah, all you have to do is write in your level.
Alright, I'll check on that. But here's the cast. Oh shoot, that should have had a modifier to it.
+1. I added
Yeah.
your staff in, I think. Or did I?
I got a weird message for that. Let me try it again. Oh, no, it rolled a hit. D20 +1. It should get another +1 on that.
Okay. So you're at
So
12 or?
yeah, it should be 12.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay,
what do I
damage. Yeah, you can roll the damage on the second one. The first guy, natural attack back, so he's going to take a single shot, which is going to be long range at you.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and roll damage on the other guy. .25 hits that one, Agent 8, and puts her to the ground, pretty heavily damaged, but not out.
Okay. And then I need to roll my own defense.
Yeah, you gotta dodge a 10.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay, so I made that. And then I'll just do my battle check.
Okay. If you want to, you can burn 2 frenzy and throw another lightning bolt.
Oh.
If you want to.
Yeah, actually I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Oh boy, that was a whiff.
Oh, is that in that one?
That is in that one.
Oh god.
By Sarah's.
Oh god.
Oh no.
You don't have Astral Link, do you? No, probably not.
Botch table. Fumble time.
Give that fumble.
Yes,
See,
yes.
She doesn't have the talent, does she? She has Mana Burn. No, she does not have the talent Astral Link, so... are you able to hit the fumble table at all if I pull this up? Are you allowed to hit the magic?
Yeah, I can. Is it hit magic?
Wait, hold up.
Do I get polymorphed? What happens?
Oh god.
So who gets polymorphed, sir?
Yeah, I know.
Petrification. 1 round to the spell. There's 5 storm, a random storm. 6. What is this? A random roll?
Hmm.
I guess
One
so. Roll a
d6
d6.
roll.
Okay, I'll roll a d6.
Oh fuck.
Who's getting
Yes.
affected by this?
No fucking way.
Oh my god.
I end the combat instantaneously.
Killing all of us.
We're going to hell, boys!
It takes us straight to
Demon
Alliance.
Gate.
We're taking this a new direction.
Holy crap.
Let's get out of here.
Alright, so you mess up the spell and it opens up some weird portal in front of you. What does that look like?
I don't know.
What does that look like? 'Cause it's like here.
So she is trying to pull off another lightning bolt right after the other one, and she's mumbling all this nonsense language, and she stumbles over part of it, and she tries to like start over and catch herself, but she's so thrown off. And then she notices that where the static electricity usually forms on her finger, like it suddenly just tears with that spinning motion in the air in front of her, and this rift opens, and it starts to widen into just this black looking hole in the middle of the air.
Oh my god.
I meant to do that.
There are worse fates than death. We're about
So
to
you
find out
guys
what they
kind
are.
of have like all your clothing or whatever, your hair is kind of like kind of pulling towards this weird vortex that rips open from her messed up spell. One of the first spells that you've used from your new wand that you made. And now it's Mutt's turn.
Jump in.
We're doing so great.
Everybody is stopped and wondering what's going on, including the bad guys.
Mutt, who is having a hard time trying to keep his sanity about himself,
Sorry, Mutt.
he sees this thing open up and he looks at Nick. he just moves to the other pillar. That's what he does.
Nix is the master of the fumble.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
He just stays there and he starts mumbling to himself, I am Mutt. I am Mutt. That's my turn.
Everyone stay calm, but do not touch the hole.
Oh my god.
Don't touch it.
I hope that's not where Chris was hoping to pop up.
Oh no, we're gonna find out.
Oh my god. Alright. The other agent keeps moving up. Stopping right there, she is going to fire at Saris, who's still... You're going to have +6 cover now from the wall there. She is aiming for one action and firing for her next action.
Oh no. So sorry, what's
It's not a natural.
what's my defense bonus?
You're getting +6
Okay.
right now.
Would I
22
use the
damage.
first part of the armor, like the first part of the slash, or the second part?
Second, so your armor soaks
Yep.
it all.
So you see Sarah's get hit, kind of square in the chest, but the new armor that she has on, very fully formed, it just shrugs all of it off. The bullet casings just, well, the bullets themselves kind of deflecting off the armor itself into the abyss that Nyx has created.
Nice. That one is going to burn her 2 frenzy and fire one more time. She's not happy with
Oh! Oh!
it. She gets a nat 20.
Oh no. Nope. Oh, no defense.
Oh my.
No.
Yeah, no defense against the nat 20.
That does +6.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Oh no. Ow.
That's with ×4, 36 damage. Minus her 23, so you only take 13.
Oh, I thought it
That's
was
still
with a
critical.
20. So wait,
Yeah.
how much did it take, sorry?
She had... You take only 13 actually with your
Oh,
soakage,
damn.
and that was like probably a headshot, so it hit your probably hit your helmet, I would
Yeah,
think.
Oh my god. So, the first shot, of course, not doing much damage or anything like that. The second shot just firing into her new helm, entering it and kind of really grazing kind of the side of her head, and you can see kind of blood come out from the sides, dripping down the side of her face. And she holds up a free hand to hold where the bullet entered. Just, I'm taking it away, looking at the blood. looking over the agent with wide eyes. Shit.
Mutt or Gharvas, you guys have good cover from there?
I would say so.
Yeah, Mutt would have his wall. Mutt would actually be looking down that, so he wouldn't have too much.
Okay. And Gharvas, you took like full cover around that wall there?
Yeah, I'm kind of, because I saw how far back they were last time, I'm waiting for them to get a bit closer, so he's probably hanging back completely.
Okay, so we'll say this agent comes up and fires a shot at Mutt with an aimed shot from the shotgun, but Mutt, you're gonna have +4 cover, we'll say.
Okay.
Because he's running, doesn't get the aim bonus there. So.
This is defense physical, correct?
Correct.
And -1 modifier, -2, +1 from Ceres for her
Tactics.
tactics.
Right.
Okay, so -1.
Well, so you're good.
Yep.
You notice what looks to be a Nyx. You notice this one. She comes in and stops right about here where the fire is on the floor. Looking kind of past that crazy portal and towards you, Nyx. You notice that a little bit of fire runs down her arms as she does a spell. And she is going to throw a fire orb at you. Or, I'm sorry, she's casting Astral Glaive.
Okay.
This is coming at you, Nyx. You're going to have to do a physical defense, and your target number is 13. You get an additional +1 because of Ceres' military tactics. And a +27 because of your fucking crazy portal. No.
I'm sorry, I'm having token issues. Oh, there we go. Okay. So what's my modifier? I get +1 from Ceres.
Yeah, +1. Nice. Basically, a blade appears in the air and tries to hack into you, but what do you do?
She dodges to the side, and the glaive sort of gets thrown off, I think, a little bit by that portal. It's creating some sort of energy that's making it not quite as accurate as it should be, so by ducking behind Ceres, it misses by quite a bit.
Alright, the others are moving up and taking positions, and that is it for the bad guys. It is now Ceres' turn. Round 3.
Ceres will look to the portal, look to the others. She'll actually take a step back and away from the line of sight. She motions to the others to also get out of line of sight. Basically, she kind of points to the portal itself. They can't get past it. Or at least if they do, we'll be able to fire upon them. Just get out of the way of their line of sights.
Alright, so you want to basically use both actions for tactics?
Yeah.
Okay. Krizach.
I'm gonna try to work my way through the vents down to get down to this area where I saw them coming in.
I would say go straight down to about here. Count your 12 move,
Okay.
whatever,
Oh shit.
and then do like a diagonal.
It's there.
And you're kind of wiggling down the tunnel down there. And then it'll be
Yes,
Gharvas'
yes.
turn.
So, how many incendiary grenades do I have? I see on ammo it just says 4-1. What does that?
4-1. Maybe he used one?
So maybe he had 4 and used
Four
1,
minus
Yeah,
and
I'm
I
thinking.
just used another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds right.
So let's say I have 2 more.
Jump into the portal. Who said that?
Oh. Can I like move around the portal just a little bit and throw a grenade? Like there? Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds
basically
good.
right on the mage.
Yeah. Possibility of burning 2 pretty much.
Would I be able to move it over just a little bit to get all 3?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna toss that grenade. And I don't have any minuses on this one, right?
No, actually you have +2, so... That sounds...
Oh.
Oh, you put in
Yeah,
double
I did
plus, yeah.
+2, but 21.
21.
Oh man, that's nice. It looks beautiful. Beautifully aimed. Flying through the air.
And then damage. Do I put anything for multiplier?
I think... let me check, make sure, but No. But I think it's already in there. Let me see. Let me make sure. The damage for your grenade... Come on now. Oh, it's already in there. Nope, you're good.
Okay, cool.
100 damage.
100 damage.
Kills all 3 of them. What's that look like?
So Gharvas has been kind of shotgun in hand, back against the wall, hearing these bullets zip past at Saris and Mutt. He finally feels that some of them are getting closer and that his time has come. He quickly moves around the edge of the wall, pulling out his second to last incendiary grenade, tossing it in a much cleaner arc this time, being a lot more careful with how he moves and how it might affect the trajectory. It lands in between these 3 and immediately just blasts them to bits. Gharvas laughs, shouting, "Be cleansed by the flame!" And then he's gonna kind of go back and follow Saris's tactics and hide out of their line of sight, getting his shotgun ready for when they inevitably come through this choke point.
Vega's turn.
So, explosions going around him, bullets flying. You can hear the, clinking of bullets hitting the walls, everything. And he just says, "All right, well, let's see if the witch can help." He activates his jetpack, and he starts flying through the halls to try and go free Mother Yun.
Okay, cool, yeah. Go ahead and do your pilot hovercraft roll. And if you do your first start, your movement will be 12 inches. But then for the second round, it goes up to 20. Nice, yeah. You're able to take off and move up to 12 inches at first round of activating. All right, Nyx, it is your turn.
Nyx is looking at this portal that she created by accident, and she reaches for her tech pistol and decides to try to take a shot while she is moving her, move around the corner.
Cool. And she uses one action to pull it, and then one action to fire. And I think that'll be her last action. She'll be stuck kind of right there after she fires. But you're firing at Agent 8.
Yes,
And
Agent 8.
And it hits.
Okay, now, does he have any of that cybernetic stuff?
She is cybernetic, so that's going to be times 2.
Great.
Perfect. Were you like, oh yeah, she looks like a robot, I'm gonna fucking shoot her?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. 36 damage is enough to knock her down. Alright, so it wounds her, knocks her to the ground. Does not kill her though. Where'd you shoot her?
She was just going for center of mass, so
Okay.
hits her with an energy blast right in the center of her chest that kind of shoots the electrical energy all through her system.
Any friends you want to burn?
Yeah, I can probably afford to burn some frenzy. She'll take another shot.
Why do I keep grabbing her? I keep grabbing your miniature on accident. Alright, go ahead.
Alright, so that's the second shot.
And she's on the ground. She's laying prone. She's -1. Oh, you hit her again. She is dead. Killed her with that shot. Alright. Who's next? You like blasted into the side of her head or something?
Yeah, and this time I think that just the energy, you can see it sizzling and frying all the circuits, and
Yeah.
she collapses to the...
Mutt, your turn.
Mutt, listening to Sarah's advice, is going to walk back and take full cover. And wait for them to come up the hallway towards the portal. That's the end of his turn.
Alright. Bad guys. 4. She comes to there. Actually, she's gonna go across the page. Alright, you notice another agent moves in. She hits the wall over there. She has an SMG in her hand, but you can see a grenade roll. out of her hands over to that location.
She's aiming for the portal.
No, she's trying to hit right here.
Oh, got it.
Both of you guys are going to have to kind of defend against the grenade. Just a physical defense. Mutt, you actually have +8 cover, though.
Okay.
Gharvas, unfortunately, does not have any cover.
+8 -6, so +8 -2, so 6.
Gharvas quickly, like, pulls out his new shield glove and kind of hides behind it as the grenade comes around the corner.
Mutt got hit.
Yes.
That's not good.
Perfect.
This
That
was his
would
last
be-
game, wasn't it?
Yep, that would be enough to take him out completely.
No! No!
The explosion goes off, and Gharvas is able to dodge to the side. It seems like most of the damage rips right into Mutt and blows that pillar away. Mutt kind of falls to the ground as he's lying there dying and burning. And then you guys also notice another agent is moving and a larger combat drone has entered the battlefield. Saris.
Saris covers her eyes from the explosion and looking back, seeing Mutt, just this pile of steam and fire. She grips tighter to her shotgun, debating on whether to go over and see if in some futile way she can help, or go around the corner and try and take out these guys. She rushes over, let's see, and takes a running shot going over to where Gharvas is, right in front of him. I'm not sure the negatives I have to take for that one.
Just -2 running shot. You actually have running shot, actually. You don't take any negatives.
Awesome. And she'll run over around this rift, shooting at the Agent Punk. And
Deadeye.
yeah, Deadeye, for sure.
Tactics for one.
No, she doesn't. She has no tactics at this point.
Yeah.
Just futilely.
Frenzy.
Yeah, Frenzy again, just futilely. She's shooting, trying to unload on this one. Just trying to get some sort of revenge for her, but just Yeah.
She's so mad, she's just throwing
Yeah,
the
she's
bullets.
just unable, shooting the floor, shooting the ceiling, and she turns back to Mutt, just furious, angry at herself, angry at them. Mutt. Oh god.
Krizach, it's your turn.
Alright. So, crawling along the vents. And then he's gonna kind of look around, see if there are feet all around and people running down the hallway, hear the big clip-clop of something huge coming down the hall, and start going into his bag to get some of his plastic explosives out. So, I mean, I'm gonna frenzy to plant as many as I can. So, I mean, 1, 2, you tell me what I can do here.
What kind of grenades or explosives you want to do?
Plastic X.
Okay. I would say one plant. Actually, I'd say you can burn a frenzy and plant 2. Just with 1 frenzy.
Yes, yes.
I'll plant 2 right away.
And then it'll be Gharvas' turn, unless you want to do anything else.
No, I'm just gonna be planting those right now.
Trying to stay hidden, right?
Yes.
Gharvas.
Cyrus, get back. And he's gonna kind of grab her and pull her behind him, moving out a little. Let's see. And he's got 3 ranged attacks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me check and see if you anything yet. I don't think you have any other ones.
I should have 1 more grenade. Because there was 1 marked, and then I used 2 so far.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you can do 3 shots. Or you can throw a grenade.
Would a grenade use all my actions?
2, yeah.
Oof. You know what? Fuck it. He's gonna step 1 more out. He's going to blast this girl.
You want to do 3 shots at her? Blam, blam, blam.
Yeah.
First one.
There's no modifier, right?
No.
Okay.
18. And that's a hit. She rolled a 7. She did not defend. 34 damage. That's enough to wound her. She's still alive. Second shot.
Oof.
4. That one missed. Third shot.
Oh my god!
And you can burn Frenzy if you want to.
I would love to burn Frenzy.
You can burn 2 Frenzy and do 1 aimed shot if you want to, or you can do 2 shots.
I'll just stick to the 2 shots.
Okay. You're just like walking towards her, unloading. Hit.
There we go.
That's enough to kill her. You can turn that last shot to somebody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna take another, because I have one more movement without running and gunning. So I'm gonna take one more step forward, just kind of abandoning defense in a very smart move, but he's pissed off, especially because they used fire to kill someone that in his eyes did not need to be cleansed yet. So he just blindly walks out from behind his cover and moves forward slowly, shooting shot after shot after shot, bullet holes covering the wall behind this woman as she is hit, and ducks to try to avoid shots, and is ultimately found, judged, and is killed. He turns his attention to the guy further down the hallway and pumps the last shot that he can at him. Oh my god. Hey!
Nice. And thankfully, she was wounded.
So does that kill? Oh damn.
Yeah, she was wounded.
So he just turns very quickly from his first target, rage in his eyes, as he's largely fallen to his Skog nature, and just this bitter passion for war and battle and blood overcomes him. Rage is in his eyes as he turns and fires one last shot, a bit haphazardly and a bit quickly, but luckily the blast still scatters across the area and finds this agent's body, blood spraying behind him as the bullets reach him. Gharvas breathes heavy, lowering his shotgun for a moment, and prepares himself for the large footsteps he's been hearing echoing down the hallway. And he waits for what's to come.
Vega, it's your turn. Down passageway, you notice that Kohawk is actually fighting somebody in the hallway up against the wall, and so are the Templars. It seems they got in from another location as well, and you can see them. They're like in the middle of smashing people and getting shot. One of the Templars is dead on the ground, but they're still battling, and Kohawk has like 3 bodies around him. But you can definitely fly past them, or you can take shots if you want to.
Yeah, Vega, as he's kind of trying to keep his balance and navigate down these passageways here, out of the corner of his eye, he sees combat taking place, knowing it's behind his friends, and that if they get through these people, his friends will be basically outflanked, surrounded, pinched off. He immediately kind of flips his legs out in front of him as the thrusters kind of bring him to a stop, and powers down the thrusters, and his boots hit the ground with a little bit of a stomp, and he spins around with his pistol, looking at where Kohawk is to see who he's fighting and if he can help.
Yeah, you can see over here there's 3 agents. One of them he's in melee combat with. The other 2 are kind of shooting at him, hitting him in the armor and stuff, but he's still fighting like crazy.
Vega immediately hits the thrusters and goes that direction.
Okay. Where is your token? Actually. Oh, okay. Yeah, and you can go 20 inches if you want to. Now that you're at full blast in the propulsion pack.
Yeah, Vega's going to use his propulsion pack to take him into combat there. And he's going to use it to ram into one of the agents that are fighting Kohak. Oh wait, I don't think I can make it. 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, I can reach Agent A. So Vega, with his sunglasses down, takes a deep breath, and he turns the thrusters on, and he just heads that direction to slam into this guy to get him off of Kohak.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack. Attack
A what?
unarmed.
Did you say unarmed attack?
Yeah, it should say attack unarmed, I believe. And you're able to hit him. So go ahead and roll damage unarmed, and it's going to be times 4 because I'm pretty much thinking you're going to do like a rage attack, moon kick, and it's the speed of the thrusters got you going. So go ahead and put a times, just put a 4 in there when it says multiplier. It gives you the multiplier prompt. Oh God.
Oh my god.
He's like, yeah.
Hiya!
Wow, really? Who kicked somebody in the back?
Yeah, so Vega comes stumbling in on his blasters. Tried to weave out between all the people and kind of lost his balance just a little bit as he comes basically sliding in and bumps into Agent A. Probably hitting him against a wall just a little bit. But now Vega's standing right there.
All right, Nyx. Did you want to burn any frenzy at all?
Oh yeah.
Use
I'll
your
burn
blaster?
Yep. I'll use 2 frenzy to aim and fire at Agent A as I'm coming in on him. Does aiming give you a modifier?
+2, yeah.
Heck.
So you got an 8. He kind of slaps it out of the way. End up shooting the wall. It is now... Well, it would have been Mutt's turn. As you're dying there, Mutt, do you are you doing anything?
He's just at that point. I'm not. Anybody who's close to him would be hearing the words, "I am Mutt. I existed."
And then the combat drone.
Well, it was actually Nyx's turn, but she was going to hold her action anyway.
Oh, is it? Wonder what happened.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I was going to hold it anyway. She wanted to make sure that She didn't need to jump in with any
Okay, I'll hold it for you.
last-minute heals or what.
The combat drone actually gets to around that area. The other agent is moving in to here and is going to fire at Gharvas. It's an aimed shot, and he's going to fire at
Defense physical, right?
Correct, yeah. Ooh, you got a natural 20, you get to fire back at him. Yeah, it hits the wall. You notice the others that are fighting Kohawk Muln are still on him. The agent that you attacked, Vega, is going to try to turn around and let's see what kind of weapon he has. He's got a 9mm. He's going to try to shoot you with it, Vega. It's a 12.
So 20 minus 7, so 13.
Actually, you got minus 10 on that.
Oh,
And then he's going to fire again. Oh no. That was a nat 1. You don't get any armor on this one. Oh jeez.
so yeah, after he slaps my gun away after I tried attacking him, and I shoot the wall, he fires back at me, and just being stunned after flying in there, getting my gun slapped away, Vega just takes the shots.
And that last one knocks you to the ground, and then it'll be Saris's turn.
Osiris looks back at Mutt, trying to debate on again whether to help him, and she just looks at him and nods at his acknowledgement of insisting. Thank you, Mutt. I will make sure to avenge you. We will take down the lions. Be free, my friend. And when let's look back, she'll step forward herself, taking a side step like Gharvas, backing him up. And she'll take a shot at the agent in front of her. Again, no tactics. And Deadeye, of course.
Hits. I knocks him to the ground, almost kills him. His armor's saving him.
She, kind of fueled by that, finally taking a deep breath, cocking her shotgun again, aiming down the sights, and firing again, trying to end this agent. Get it over with, get it done, be able to finally get out of here. Like they were originally supposed to. She's
Alright.
she's still in her head about what happened to Mutt. What's happening now. Blaming herself for leading them all here. She's not focused. Shooting wildly.
Crisette.
Can Nyx jump in?
Oh, yeah, you
Try
can.
to- she's keeping an eye on Saras and everybody in front, and she'd been worried about more grenades, but seeing that there weren't any more coming, she takes the opportunity to try to take out this agent that Saras had wounded so badly, and she's just going to use her pistol again. Not very well.
That's actually -1, because he was...
So is that a hit then?
Yep, he was actually -1 on the ground. You're firing at this one, right? The Black Ops agent.
Yes.
And that one's a ×2 if you're using the Tech Blaster.
Okay. So Saras is, you see that blast take down the agent Black Ops. You almost hear something in your mind that says, I've got you.
Saris will do a quick turn to Nyx, nodding her head.
Now it's Crisette.
Oh, yes. So would I be able to throw one more plastic explosive here and then move?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, yes. So I put a third plastic explosive there, and then, hearing that this thing is almost walking right on top of me, I will scurry away, and I will burn a frenzy to set all of them off.
Oh my god. Alright, what is the damage on that?
I'll go ahead and go here. So, plastic explosive is D10 times 10, and there are 3 of them.
So 3d10 times 10.
Yes.
And that thing's big. It's like...
Does that 10 explode?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
I was gonna say, this thing has 200 hit points.
I don't know how much damage this is gonna... I'm pretty sure that's enough, but we can keep going.
I don't know if the temple's still gonna be standing.
He blew up the whole...
So, I mean, that's... So that'd be 209 times 10, right? Or no, wait, no, not 200, not today. I'm dumb. So wait, 18, 19, 29, 30, 380 damage.
380, and it had 200 hit points, that combat drone, so it explodes and What's that look like? That hallway.
So Chris, that hallway is looking a little rough. So Krizat scurries back and pulls out detonator, and it's the same as always. It's always like, I got it, and just kind of keeps hitting it, and then finally, as it just throws bodies all over the place, eviscerates the ones that are there, and just destroys this thing, scrapping it into a large heap in the middle of the hallway, and Krizach will pop his head actually out of this vent and look around. And I best assassin! I kill all!
And then it'll be Gharvas.
Looking around, listening, seeing the destruction in front of him. Hearing Saris breathing heavy behind him as she fired shot after shot at the agent that shot at him. He turns, looking back towards Mutt. Guilt at how close Mutt was, how easy it seems like he could have done something, anything to save him. In these moments, Mutt is going to offer a prayer to Gar for Mutt's soul. I know there's like a prayer rule. I don't know how it like...
You can roll a d100 if you want to. Should be a...
And it's like our spirit.
Yeah, you have a 15%
get-
spiritual influence, I think.
I think 17 because of the
Oh,
ceremony,
yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So we're gonna try this, boys and girls.
So, no. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's kind of
save
the
him.
opposite.
Doesn't save him, but... Yeah, it's cool. It is going to be... Vega's turn.
After getting his gun slapped away and taking those shots, Vega tries to whip his gun back around to fire on him.
That's a hit.
Finally.
It wounds him not enough to kill him.
Yeah, and in all of his anger and frenzy, the adrenaline spikes and he just starts firing again.
That one's a miss. You can burn Frenzy. 2 Frenzy, 2 more shots, or you can rapid fire for 2 shots.
I'm gonna burn Frenzy and fire again.
Do you want to rapid fire those last 2 shots? Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's a hit.
2 shots.
And that's going to be times 4. He's definitely dead. Like horribly dead. Like 2 shots to the head dead, maybe. Go ahead.
Yeah, so after he brings his gun back around, squares it on him, and just fires, Vega grabs him basically by the shoulder and just pushes him back against the wall and slams the gun up against his head and just pulls the trigger 1, 2, 3 times, just keeps shooting him out of anger. He's just yelling the whole time while he's holding this person up against the wall and just shooting them in the head.
And then you notice Kohawk Muln smashes this other guy and just kills him. And he saw that you could tell that he saw that you were helping him. So he was kind of frantically trying to kill that guy and kill the other one, which he does. He ends up killing the last enemy and turning and offers a hand to help you up, and nods to you, kind of giving you a quick clasp on the shoulder. Everybody's pretty much dead. People are hiding still in the church, and you are victorious, but at the loss of one of your people.
And Vega
go
looks
ahead.
at Kohawk and just gives him a weak nod of acknowledgement, of helping him, and he kind of turns with his arms down at his side, blood kind of just coming down his arm, dripping off of a finger as it flats on the ground, as he's slowly walking back in this direction towards the rest of the group.
Saris kind of stumbles back from the fight, turning around, making her way past the rift. She drops her gun beside Mutt, falling to her knees and taking him up into her arms, just kind of holding him. Head down. I'm so sorry, Mutt. I'm sorry you couldn't make it further. I'm sorry you had to go through this.
Vega wipes sweat and tears off of his face and spreads blood across his forehead and cheek. He looks at Saris, and he weakly kind of holds the gun up like he's using it to point like a finger. Death is following you, Saris. Death is following you. I'm losing friends because of you. I'm losing people I know because of you. If you would listen to me, Mutt would still be here. Mutt would still be here if you would listen to me. He just drops his arm down to his side and shakes his head. Death is following you, Saris.
I know. I failed as a leader. And I'm failing all of you now. I led them here. I wouldn't have come if it wasn't for me. You're right. No, his death is on my hands.
Mutt, he was fading. He was fading even while he was here. Perhaps this was a mercy. He died himself.
He shouldn't have gone up like this. Not before seeing Alliance crumble.
I do not think he would have made it that long.
You notice Kohawk Muln Kohawk says, we will honor his body as a warrior. He gave himself for the war against Alliance. And with that, camera kind of pans away. That ends this session.
What?
Ah!